In this video, I'm going to rank every fruit and Blox fruits from bad to godlike. This tier list is based on PvP and grinding. Starting off with Rocket. First attack is just Doe's first attack, so it's pretty good. The second attack hits a lot of areas, so it's good for grinding. And the C move is also good for grinding. Hitting these moves in PvP might be impossible, but it's really solid at grinding, so it's going into the okay tier. Spin fruit. The 3 attacks are just the same helicopter slashes in different ways. They're going to be hard to hit, and the damage is weak slash. The flight is this. Sorry, Spin, you're going into bad tier. Next is Chop fruit. Yeah, it's good to use if you're a sword main or gun stats. Sorry, not sorry. Dark fruit. This fruit is cheap and it's great at PvP. The damage is respectable. The spirit bomb is... grinding is great too since it's a Logia. Logia means NPCs can't hit you. And it has a lot of area attacks, so it's good for grinding in that area. Great for new players. It's going to end a great tier. Alright, Dark's brother. Light fruit. This fruit is like the second best for grinding in the game, besides like Buddha, maybe Kitsune. It comes with a spear which gets damaged based on your Blox fruit stats. It's a Logia and has fantastic moves for grinding. For PvP, this fruit is decent, and the moves can combo into each other pretty easily. The V move has big range, so maybe some free kills or damage. The flight is the fastest in the game. I'm putting this into insane for its grinding and flight. Next, Ice. It has the same sword like Light and it's a Logia too, so it's also great for grinding. You can skate on water too, by the way. At its price, it's the best PvP fruit in the game because it can combo really well into other moves, guns, and swords. The C move carries because if you hit someone with this, it might just be GG. The X move is like what Todoroki does, and it's a pretty solid move. The V surrounds you in Ice Wave, and the Z move sucks. The one bad thing is that if you fight a Sky Camper, it's Jover. Most of the best fruits are all good at Sky Camping, so Ice is in a rough spot. Magma fruit. I don't have this awakened, but the grinding is fantastic. I know that at least. The PvP is also good, from what I know, but the damage is really good. It's a Logia, and you can walk on water. Magma is really good, so I gotta give it great tier for the damage and grinding speed. Buddha time. This is the best grinding fruit when awakened. It's also the best for raids, and with Shark V4, it's really good at PvP too. Have you ever tried to kill a Shark V4 Buddha user? It's like going against an admin with how much damage they can take. But since Buddha has to be very close to be effective, because the actual moves for Buddha are kind of bad, people can just sky camp and use range attack to kill you, and you can't do much about it. But it's gotta go on godlike for its grinding ability alone. It's decent in PvP too. Phoenix for the 5 people who actually use this. It's just kinda bad. You almost can't die with it, but you're not killing anyone either with this. If you're teaming with another player or friend and you're an ally, this fruit becomes 10 times as good in PvP because you can just heal your ally over and over again. When it comes to grinding, it's so bad.
Oh my god.
No. Hell no.
It's going into bottom of grade. Wake fruit. It's great for PvP since it has great combo potential. The V move is this massive wave AoE that gets free damage like all of the time. It doesn't do great damage, but the moves, they have stun in them, so when they hit, it makes up for it. The grinding potential is really bad, so I'm gonna put it into great tier. Control fruit. It's getting a revamp soon, so I won't talk about it much, but right now it's super bad. Not good at PvP, and it's terrible for grinding. And your opponent has to be in your field, which makes its sky camping ability pretty mediocre. Sorry, you're going into bottom of grade. Pain fruit. This fruit is actually pretty good if you're skilled with it. Its moves are easy to hit in PvP, and they have big AoE, so it's good for grinding too. The damage isn't that good, but it's still great, so it's going into insane. Next up is Blizzard. This fruit is decent for PvP and good for grinding. I never used Blizzard, so this is going to be hard to judge. The Z move is way too hard to hit consistently. The X move is okay, nothing crazy, but the C move, pretty decent, since it surrounds you, giving you some breathing room. The V move is literally just an upgraded version of that C move, and the flight does damage, but it's pretty slow. The PvP is lacking, but for grinding it's great, especially with that V move. It's going into bottom of insane tier. Spirit fruit. The fruit with the ability to summon homies onto the moveset. The Z move dashes, grabs an enemy, and damages them with this big piece of ice. I imagine this is going to be pretty hard to hit in PvP, but I'm terrible with spirit, so I wouldn't know. Wrath of Ra. A beam of fire comes down where you click. It does wacko mode levels of damage. Wrath of Shu is literally just a Z move, like spot the difference, like, because there's basically isn't one. They just ran out of budget. The ultimate move, End of Times. I feel like I'm in a TikTok edit when I say that. The attack is a Kamehameha from both of your balls. This also does wacko mode levels of damage. With the flight, you can fly on either one of your balls. For PvP, this is really good because of the damage and the V move doing nearly all your opponent's health. And you can heal with the homies too. It's decent for grinding since you have your homies to help from level 1. Godlike tier. Venom. This fruit's fall from grace and needs to be studied. From the best fruit to becoming extinct. It's a sad day for Venom mains. The Z move splattered goo venom on the enemy, damaging them over time. The X move knocks the shot, a tiny spirit bomb of venom goo that you can throw at an enemy, damaging them over time. The C move makes you cough up smoke that surrounds you and does damage if an enemy gets near you. It's a bad move, but it's pretty funny that venom gives you lung cancer. Then we got the goofy ass flight. It only does damage to NPCs since you have to stay on top of the enemy, and a real player isn't gonna let you do that. And if you let go of the flight, it does damage too. The ultimate is a transformation that makes you whatever the hell this thing is. The Z and X move produce more venom when transformed, and the ball is bigger. The C move goes from a kilo to a kitsune in how much it gets better. Old versus new. This card covers an entire city block. The moves also do this annoying like screen shake that makes playing the game a headache. I'm pretty sure the damage is top 3 in the game still. It's great for PvP because it's spammy and easy to use, and same goes, it's great for grinding too. Godlike tier. Shadow fruit. This fruit is still good, but it's fallen off for me. The Z move makes you a ball and does damage if you hit an enemy with it. The X move sends bats to harass your opponents. The C move grabs the enemy, damages, and heals you after hitting it, but actually hitting this move is impossible, so it sucks. The V move is a bomb that traps your enemy and does good damage over time. The flight is slow but does damage, so it's really good for grinding. This fruit is good, but feels like it's missing something. I don't know what it is, but it's good for PvP and grinding, so insane tier, even still. Mammoth fruit. This fruit was a huge disappointment. It's bad at grinding only until you transform. The moves feel very samey and don't do much different from each other, but for PvP, this fruit is gonna get you smacked up. The jumps though are crazy. When you land, it does damage, so that's a plus. But the reason this is such a disappointment is because the new T-Rex fruit that released a month after Mammoth does everything Mammoth does, but better, and is cooler. The Z move is easy to hit and does good damage. The X move sucks someone in and does great damage. The C move is the Z move, but does more damage and can close distance. It has a giant leap too, which is pretty cool, but best of all is comes with this left click attack without the transformation, unlike Mammoth. Now to transformation. All the moves do more damage, and you leave a mark on them that does more damage the closer you are to the enemy. This fruit is insane for grinding in PvP. It's going into godlike, and Mammoth is going into insane. Dragon fruit. Let's cut to the chase. Let's be honest, the grinding sucks with dragon. Don't make any excuses. This takes an eternity to grind with, but for PvP, this fruit is busted. All you do is spam from the sky and you get bounty. But lately, this fruit has fallen a bit off. Luckily, they're remaking dragon, and it should release in the next month or two. The Z move is easy to hit, but doesn't do great damage. The X move is hard to hit, but the more you use dragon, the easier it gets. The C move is super easy to hit people on the ground, and you can just spam it. And it stuns them, so they stay in the same place unless they can dodge or something. The flight is mid. The transformation doesn't do much if you're fighting a good player, but if you're fighting a bad player, it's broken. Gotta give it godlike tier. Leopard fruit. This fruit is crazy. You're really fast in leopard form. The moves combo into each other so easily. The Z finger revolver is a top 5 move in the game. It's easy to hit, does great damage, and the cooldown is super fast, so you can just spam this forever. The X move sends a tornado at someone. People have said it's not good for grinding, but I feel like it's still decent for grinding too. You can use the click attack with the roar just to get free damage in PvP if you spam it and get close enough. Its F move is an attack that moves you and allows you to break out of some attacks too. It's just so good. Godlike. Dough fruit. This fruit is a Lokia, and the moves are great for grinding. At PvP, it's busted. The moves just combo into each other like wham, bam, slam. The Z is a missile with a big AoE. It's easy to hit in PvP, and it's great for grinding. The X move is pretty unique because on the ground, it does this dough tree, but if you use it in the air on someone, it does this combo to them. The C move makes you a donut, and if you drive into an enemy, you swing them, and boom. The V move is a big AoE of Hockey Fist. It comes with a melee on left click. It's pretty good for PvP and grinding. It does a lot of damage. It doesn't have a flight, but you can become a donut that can go up walls, and it does damage too. It's going in godlike. Kitsune fruit. This damage is broken. The moves combo into each other like butter. The left clicks make it possibly the best grinding fruit. The transformation makes you as fast as my dad. This fruit is just built different. Top of god tier.